I know that some of you and your team members have several questions to ask regarding the change request process. I thought instead of sending out emails to individuals, I could meet with you and have a discussion and provide clarifications. As always, we want your constructive feedback in order to improve our processes. Having said that, I want to thank you for being here. So let us start. I want to hear from you.
I have a basic question. Why do we have to submit a change request for my changes?
A change request, also referred to as CR, is a formal proposal to implement a change. A CR is required in order to be able to track changes made to production environment. A CR also helps in ensuring that various impacted groups, including business, are aware of the changes being done. A review of the CR provides an opportunity for others groups as well as the Change Advisory Board, also known as CAB, to assess the risk and impact of your changes.
What are the different types of CRs?
There are 3 types of CRs in our organization. The 3 types of CRs are normal, emergency, and pre-approved. A normal CR is reviewed and approved by CAB. Changes should not be deployed without CAB approval. An emergency CR, on the other hand, is used when the deployment is to happen within next 72 hours from the submission date and changes cannot wait for CAB review and approval. These CRs are approved by ECAB or CHIO. ECAB stands for Emergency CAB Members. Finally, a pre-approved CR type is used for changes that have low impact and risk. This CR category does not require CAB or ECAB approval. However, other than CAB approval, pre-approved CR do require other approvals and completion of tasks in ServiceNow before changes can be deployed.
I hear people mentioning about TAG. What is it?
TAG stands for Technical Advisory Board and, as the name suggests, has an advisory role. TAG meets prior to CAB. TAG members go through the CRs on the CAB report and reviews the CRs from technical perspective. Only those CRs that are cleared by TAG will be presented to CAB for their review and approval.
When did Change Advisory Board meet to review CRs?
The CAB meetings are held every Monday and Thursday at 11 o'clock am. However, when a Monday or a Thursday happens to be a holiday, the CAB meeting will be rescheduled.
When should I submit my CR in order to be reviewed by CAB?
Instead of saying when you should be submitting a CR, let me talk about the cutoff time and dates. First off, system will not allow you to submit a normal CR after 4 p.m. the previous day on which CAB meets. Additionally, only those CRs that have all approvals and tasks completed in ServiceNow and are waiting for change review by 9 a.m. on the day CAB meets are considered for TAG and CAB review and approval. In short, to answer your question as to when you should submit the CRs, I would say certainly before 4 p.m. previous day on which CAB meets. However, unless you ensure that the CR has all approvals and tasks completed up to and excluding change review by 9 a.m. on the day CAB meets, your CR will not appear for TAG and CAB review. In general, it is best to submit a CR as soon as you know the change is needed on a specific date. A long answer for a short question.
I have a CR scheduled. However, I do not see the CAB approval for the CR in ServiceNow as yet. Is there anything that I need to do now?
There are several reasons why the CR may not have been approved by CAB. We suggest you check the status of the CR as well as the date of implementation. If you find the status of CR as under approval, it means the CR is still waiting for approval from others or has some tasks pending in the workflow that needs completion. On the other hand, if you find the status as pending CAB approval, it means CR is waiting for CAB review and approval. Finally, if you find the CR status as work in progress, it means the CR already has CAB approval and is pending implementation. The other aspect you need to be aware of is that CAB reviews and approves only those CRs that are future dated and those that are in the date range for which CAB approves changes. So if you have a CR that has planned start date of implementation 2 weeks from today, such CRs will not be reviewed in current CAB meeting. The CR will be reviewed only at a later date.
My changes need just a few seconds or minutes of outage. Should I still ask for outage approvals?
Indeed, you need to get approvals for any outage, whether the outage is for short duration or extended time. Depending on the outage type, test or dev outage, customer-facing or non-customer-facing, you will have to obtain outage approval from appropriate group or people. Not getting outage approval is likely to lead to unnecessary logging of defects or email exchanges. The purpose of obtaining outage approval is to ensure that the affected people are aware of the outage and agree with the timings.
Who approves the emergency CRs?
Emergency CRs require approval from either Chief Information Officer or from 3 ECAB members. The emergency CR will still require approval from category owner and manager. However, the CR can be deployed once it has approval from 3 ECAB members or from Chief Information Officer. For changes that need testing from either business or DCO or development, deployment would be subject to testing sign-off.
When is it appropriate for me to ask for a new pre-approved category? Who should I contact, and what information do I need to provide?
Change management encourages IT teams to identify those repetitive, low-impact, low-risk changes that do not require outage and to be completed on a regular basis. These type of changes are good candidates for the pre-approved CR category. Should you want to have a specific pre-approved category to be created, please contact Change Management. You will need to provide justification as well as suggested workflow for the pre-approved category. Note that proposal for pre-approved category will be reviewed by Enterprise Security and CAB. Decision regarding approval or rejection of the proposal will be communicated by Change Management team to the requester.
My changes were already approved by CAB. However, we need to postpone the changes. Should we proceed with the changes at any time since we already have CAB approval?
Please refer to the CR extension process posted on CAB site for more details. In a nutshell, change in date and timing needs approval from manager, category owner. Additionally, if the CR needs outage approval is needed. In case the CR needs to be deferred to a date beyond next CAB date, please do let Change Management know that the CR should be presented to CAB for reapproval. Note that CAB approval once received is valid only until the following CAB meeting.
My CR was already approved by CAB. However, the implementation completion date and time needs to be extended. Do I need an approval for the extension?
Yes, indeed, the change requester or implementer needs to obtain approval from the CR category owner and change requester's manager for extending the completion time beyond the anticipated change window. The change requester will have to attach email approvals from manager and category owner to the CR for tracking purposes. Additionally, if the CR has associated outage, change requester or implementer will have to obtain approval from the stakeholders for the extension of the outage window.
I have submitted a pre-approved CR. Does this mean I can deploy my changes as soon as I create a CR or pre-approved type?
All change requests irrespective of the type of CR have preset workflow defined in system. The workflow defines the sequence of approvals and assessment tasks. Pre-approved CRs do not have change review task and CAB approval, but it still has the workflow that needs to be followed. The pre-approved CR will have to be implemented only when all approvals are obtained and all tasks prior to implementation is completed.
How do I know if the changes I want to make can be submitted as pre-approved CR?
The knowledge base in ServiceNow describes the nature of the changes that can be submitted as pre-approved. Change Management maintains the list of pre-approved CR categories that have been previously reviewed and approved by Enterprise Security and CAB.
I have a CR that is duly approved. During deployment we found some issues and the changes had to be undone. Do I need a separate CR for undoing the changes?
I am very glad you brought up this question. Note that while creating the CR, there is a section of Backout Plan. This section should contain the steps that would be taken if implementation fails for whatever reason. If you had the steps that you would take due to issues with deployment, you will not need a separate CR for rolling back the changes. Note however, the backup plan is only applicable when issues with deployment are identified immediately after deployment. If the CR is closed or changes released to production, you will certainly require a separate CR for undoing the changes done.